In this video I'm going to be talking all about the Graphite Bo Staff we have for sale at Enso. I'm going to be talking about all of its features, who would use this, why you'd want to use this, and at the end I'm going to give you a few little tips and tricks just to get you started training with Bo Staff. Hi, my name's Doug Swift. I've been doing martial arts for the past 33 years and the owner of Enso Martial Arts for the past 16 years. If you like this video, click the little icon, subscribe to this channel and get all the latest videos and updates from Enso Martial Arts. So let's get into this video and learn all about the Graphite Bo Staff we have for sale at Enso. So graphite weapons are a fairly modern addition to the martial arts world. You know, they've been around probably 20 years or so, something like that. And people like this material because it's so lightweight. Now, Bo Staffs are probably the most common weapon you see made out of it, and we do the 5 foots and 4 foots as well. But you also do see like kama and tonfa and all kinds of stuff made out of it. Now, most of that we don't tend to sell at Enso Martial Arts, but the Bo Staffs are really popular for quite a few different martial arts, so it is something that we do stock. Now, why would you want a Graphite Bo Staff? What's the point? Well, the majority of people that are buying these use them for competitions, demonstrations, where speed is a really big factor in terms of getting judged for the competition. So speed is a very important factor in that particular style. Yeah, competition, or you know, for the demonstration, obviously the faster you are, the more flashy and spectacular it looks. So these are so lightweight, and they're around 50% lighter than the standard Bo Staff, so really lightweight, and you can just move them so fast. Also, because they're so thin, and like I call these mouse tail Bo Staffs. If they were the wooden ones, they'd be the mouse tail, so they're the same shape as the really thin wooden ones. Very thin on the ends. There's hardly any air resistance as well, so there's hardly any air resistance. They're really lightweight, so yeah, very easy to spin as fast as possible, and stop as well, very easy to stop them. So yeah, it's styles. You do see them in Taekwondo styles, you do see them like Tang Soo Do styles, XMA, a lot of those guys are using them. They do pop up in karate, if the competition is looking for like speed, then you do see them pop up. But you know, Taekwondo, Tang Soo Do are the two styles really of people that are buying them from us, and obviously the XMA guys as well. There's not a lot of XMA in Bristol where the shop is, so we don't get so many people buying these, but yeah, obviously a very popular style, you know, that uses the graphite staffs. So just showing you a few features now. This one that I've got here is blue on the ends and red in the middle. The colours will change from time to time, so that's something that maybe the video over time may not be totally up to date. So definitely check out the website. We've had totally plain black ones in the past. The Joe Staff we have are black and yellow, so it might be these change. One thing that won't change though is the dimensions, and I'll give you the actual measurements a bit later in the video. But yeah, very thin, and still actually probably only an inch thick in the middle. So that will always be the same. Another feature that will be the same is the fact that these are a two-piece staff. Now, obviously a lot of people do just have 6-foot staffs in martial arts, and that's fine, but having this as a two-piece makes it really transportable, so it's easy to get around, it's easy to carry. You know, you can kind of fit that almost in like a long rucksack, so that's a really nice feature. One thing I really like about these is that you've got a metal screw, and quite a long one, into a metal fitting, which is sunken into the wood core. Now these do have a wood core, sort of maybe sort of a foot down the middle of the staff, but it is a metal fitting for the screw, and this means that this screw will not wear out. In the old days they used to screw into a wooden fitting and they used to wear out, and then you didn't get such a tight fit. But yeah, these metal ones are really good, and it's a really secure fit, really nice and tight, which means when you're training, you're spinning, you're competing, it's not going to be coming apart. You'll see in a minute as it comes together that this has such a tight fit, it's actually very difficult to see it once it's done. You can't really feel it, so it's not getting caught on your hands, anything like that. They're made really well in that respect. I really like them. Now, I did mention this wood core, so about around here-ish there is a wooden insert. Obviously that's the bit that you're holding most of the time, so it gives it an extra bit of strength, but the rest of it, you can probably hear it, is hollow all the way up. So these don't cut very well. A lot of the wooden stuff you can cut really easily for different heights, especially the Kung Fu guys, but these don't really cut. I have known people that do it, but you get kind of sharp edges on there. It's not great, which is why we supply the 5-foots as well, so you don't have to mess around with length. Now, yeah, this is very lightweight, very easy to spin around. Now, if you were looking at building up wrist strength or something, you probably want to get a heavier one. This is purely about speed and being as fast as possible. So I mentioned earlier that I give you some dimensions. Now, this is 6 foot. So all of anything we call a bow staff at Enso Martial Arts will be 6 foot. Yeah, it's fairly useful to know. Standard length for bow staffs, especially in Japanese martial arts. Now, if you have a look at the dimensions of the end, very skinny. It's about 13 mil, something like that at the top, so very skinny. Now, in the middle, it does taper to both ends, and again, that comes in up, you know, under an inch, around an inch, 3 centimeters, something like that. And having a look at the weight, this weighs in about 500 grams. Now, if you compare that to the wooden bow staffs, they're about 1.3 kilos. The white wax staffs for Kung Fu are about 800 grams. So this is really lightweight. I mean, you could say that's more than half, you know, easy more than half than a wooden bow staff, even the tapered ones. So yeah, very lightweight bow staff. So as promised at the beginning of the video, I said I'd give you a few tips and tricks just to get you started training with bow staff. Now, if you're interested in doing bow staff, always go and find a teacher if you can. You know, obviously at the moment there's the pandemic happening, so there's not many classes open, so a lot of people have to train online. So, you know, going to find stuff on YouTube and training with things like that, and you know, finding classes online, that's a really good option at the moment. But as soon as the classes reopen, you know, go and find yourself a teacher and get training. Having someone there standing next to you giving you advice is always the best option in terms of training martial arts. Learning from me on this little video is not great, but I'll give you a few tips and tricks just to get you started out, you know, and if it gets you into bow staff, then I'll be really happy. So first thing that you're gonna do is just spinning it round and round. Now, you can do it just almost with fixed hands, and it feels a bit like you're paddling, which you're not really, but I guess the paddling would be like this. But you want the one tip to be turning on either side. So yeah, very simple, fixed hands. You don't have to move that much. Even if you keep your arms relatively straight, you can still do it. But, you know, get a bit of movement in your wrists, and you can do that both sides as well, with the left hand leading or the right hand leading. Like, the one on from this in terms of moving is spinning it 1.5 times. So you're leading with the left, change over, lead with the right, change over, left and right. And this is basically the basic move for bow staff in loads of different martial arts. Yeah, really simple. You'll get this in Kung Fu, in Chinese martial arts, in Japanese martial arts, Korean martial arts. So it's a really good one to learn for all kinds of different martial arts and get very comfortable with. Now, with these graphite ones, you can get it so you can start hearing it moving in the air. It's very lightweight, so there's no real effort on your arms or your wrists in terms of spinning this weight. It'll be really hard to spin like a thick wooden Japanese red oak bow staff like this. It'll be very difficult. But yeah, with this, you know, it's pretty easy. It's not that much of an effort to do. If you're going to whack yourself over the back of your head, you're going to know about it still. But again, nowhere near as much as one of the Japanese bow staffs that's like more than twice the weight of these. So yeah, that's the first thing to get used to. Get used to spinning it, get used to getting faster and faster. Now, the other thing that you will want to know is spinning backwards. So again, changing hands. So you're leading with the left, leading with the right. Now, with these, it's opposite hand will lead. So your left hand will lead on your right, and then your right will change on your left. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. Again, things like this is quite good to do in a mirror so you can see that you're spinning it fairly consistently, nice and smooth, keeping the thing nice and vertical. You know, and I always find I've got to move my body a little bit for these, just kind of like sway around, getting out of the way of it. But yeah, doing reverse spins and forward spins, really the two basic moves that will get you started training with the bow staff. Thanks very much for watching. I hope it was useful. I hope you learnt loads about the Graphite Bo Staff we have at Enso Martial Arts. If you like this video, remember to click the little icon, subscribe to his channel and get all the latest videos and updates from Enso Martial Arts. Thanks very much, and I'll see you soon. Cheers!